Welcome back to the B6 fam.
We wanted to talk a little bit about how we raise our mixed race family.
Thoughts on raising mixed kids?
I think it's great. I think as a parent, I also get it. It makes me be more culturally aware. It makes me want to learn more about not only my wife's culture but other cultures, so that I can educate my children. I mean, I spent some time in Africa, and I'm obviously a white guy amongst a black culture, and it gives you some attention and maybe some questions, but honestly, like, I never felt targeted or offended. It's a reality, you know. I'm white, and I never had any experiences that were negative.
And I think for me, growing up in a place like Toronto, where it's a big melting pot of cultures and different race, I think that kind of helped me to not experience as much racism. In the community that we live in, I still haven't had a bad experience as far as racism, and I'm really grateful for that.
I remember probably Kyram, our oldest, when he was quite young, he came to me and had said that he wanted his hair to be like Daddy's. And that was an opportunity for us to start teaching him, because he was noticing at that age the difference that he was from me. It gave us an opportunity to educate him, to teach him that, you know, there's different cultures, there's different hair textures, there's different skin colors. And he has really grown to love and appreciate what he has. He loves that he can braid up his hair, or he can, you know, do different kinds of styles that I'll never be able to do, or even if I did them, they just wouldn't look right.
Yeah, and I think it's because when he was young, he was getting so much attention. Everywhere we go, people wanted to touch his hair, people wanted to, you know, talk to him, and just, so I think the attention was unwanted because he just didn't know how to handle it. So he kind of just didn't want to be himself anymore. He just didn't want curly hair. He didn't want that. And even our youngest, he went to daycare at one time, and he came home and said, "Mom, I don't want to be brown. I don't want to be brown anymore. I want to be white like so and so." Because all his friends around him at the time were of white skin. So I felt like he just wanted it because it's what he saw. And so that was an opportunity for us to teach him that there's many different skin tones, and to just love yourself because you look so cute. You're just the cutest little thing. And you know what? They grow into themselves and they start to embrace it.
Kenny. What's up? Good?
Good.
You're so cute.
Who do you look like more? Mommy or Daddy?
Daddy.
You look more like Daddy? Why?
I love her.
You're a little bit bald like Daddy?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you look like Mommy?
Not.
You don't look like Mommy?
I do like her. And I like you.
Oh,
You like her and you like me?
that's nice.
Okay.
What color is your skin?
Brown.
What color is Mommy's skin?
Black.
What color is Daddy's skin?
White.
Oh.
How did you get brown?
That's a hard question to ask him.
Because Jesus make me brown.
Thank you. Hugs. Okay.
I love you. Now go get Cree. Say, your turn, Cree.
You're done, Cree.
All right, big girl. So we want to ask you some questions about you. Like, what is your skin color?
Caramel.
You think you're caramel skin?
Yeah.
So, like, what is that? Like brown?
Light brown?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you look like more, Mommy or Daddy?
Daddy.
You look more like me?
Yeah.
Why? What on you looks like me?
Good.
Skin's closer to mine?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of in the middle.
Like in the middle. Your skin is in the middle.
I think you have my nose.
Do people ask you questions about your hair? No? Do they ask you questions about your skin color? Do kids say, "Hey, you look brown"? Do they say that? No?
One boy in daycare named Remy, he wanted my skin color.
Oh,
You wanted it?
a boy in your daycare wanted your skin color?
Yeah.
And what'd you say?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Thank you.
And Keyston. What's up? Nothing?
So, buddy, we want to ask you some questions about you and being mixed. So, what color would you say you are?
Brown.
Brown? And who do you think you look more like, mom or dad?
Mom.
You think you look more like me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why?
Because the skin darker.
Your skin a little darker?
What about like your hair?
Dad.
You think it's more like dad?
Yeah.
Just because you have a short haircut?
Yeah.
What about the curliness?
Mom.
Probably more like mom's, yeah. You got some tight curls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do people ever ask you questions about your hair or about your skin?
Like, three
Talk
of my
loud.
friends have asked
to
me
speak
about
loud.
my hair.
What do they ask?
Like, how do you get it to go like that?
I get asked that all the time. How do I get my hair to do the things it does? So how do you feel about being mixed? How do you feel about being both black and white?
Good.
You feel good about it?
You like it?
Why?
I don't know.
You get the best of both worlds.
Right. Awesome. Thank you.
And Kyra,
Kyra. Sup, my dude?
what's going on?
We have questions to ask you about being mixed. What's that like?
It's good
Why is it good?
because you have a white dad and a black mom, and you have both, and not lots of people have that.
You're right.
You get a mix, you get two cultures, two colors,
Yeah.
two different kinds of foods.
So what would you say is the color of your skin?
Brown, yeah.
Do you like having curly hair? Yeah. What's so awesome
Why?
about having curly hair?
Because, like, no one in my school has it, and then they always just touch it.
Does it bug you when they touch it, or is it just you just know that they just like that it's different?
They like it. And sometimes when I'm not in the mood,
When you're not in the mood.
it bugs me.
You don't want the attention?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because, like, sometimes when one person does it, a bunch of other people start coming.
Does any adults ever ask to touch it or ask you questions about it?
Yeah.
Like what?
Mostly teachers, and they say, "Wow, your hair is awesome. Can I touch it?" And then I say, "Sure."
And like, are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's good.
So you like being a mixed kid? Okay, thank you.
You
Okay.
got some boogers in your nose. Go clean it out. So when we were, I can't remember if we were just newly married or we were just about to get married, and probably we were about to get married and we were planning our wedding with Felicia's aunt. And she knew a little bit about the community that we lived in, that there wasn't a lot of culture. It's mostly just white people, a few mixes of people here and there. But so she started questioning, like, you know, is there racism in your community? Like, how is that going to work? And I had told her that, I mean, I had never really had any circumstances where I felt that there was racism happening. And I don't think that there would be a problem bringing Felicia to the community. But she went on to say, like, you know, like, you're going to have moments in your life where someone says something to, or such as a racial comment to someone in your family, and you need to know how to face that situation, how to stand up for your family. And so it really made me realize, you know, like, although I don't think it will happen to my family, and I hope it doesn't, I need to be prepared for when it does.
Right.
And I need to teach my children that how to stand up for themselves or for other people if they're in a situation where there is racism.
And we understand the world we live in. We're not living in a bubble. We see that there is racism all around us. And I mean, even, you know, once some of my friends realize that I'm going to marry a white man and our kids are going to be mixed, and they make comments like, oh, so your kids won't have nappy hair and they won't, they won't have to deal with stuff like that. And honestly, that isn't why I have my children. That isn't why I married who I married. We're not trying to be oblivious to that stuff, but we don't think of that stuff. We just kind of just live our life, and we're happy with how it turned out and the blessings that we received to even have a family, let alone worry about their hair type or, you know what I mean, or their skin tone. That's not a big worry for us, but we do want to be ready and prepared for when people do approach us in that racist regard. How are we going to feel? How are we going to teach our children to feel about certain situations? So we're doing our best.
We try our best to teach our kids about being mixed and what it is. Some simple ways that we do so are through books. Simple books like I Am Mixed teaches them about different mixes and skin colors and hair textures and the beauties of having both cultures.
Yeah, we think it's very important that they know of different cultures, learn about both races, like being black and being white. And we like to read books like this where they can learn about people that have done very well in life despite racism.
Even Robert Munsch has a fun little book that teaches people about black people and their hair. It's fun and silly, but there's lessons to be learned in it.
There's just different ways that we can teach our children about themselves.
Kenny made that picture.
Yeah. We also like to teach our children through travel. So we like to take them to different destinations where there are different races, different types of foods, so that they can know there is this big world out there. It's not so much of a culture shock when they meet people of different races.
It's a great way to teach them, like Felicia said. And even you don't have to travel to have those opportunities to teach. We've got the internet, all kinds of things, places that we can learn about cultures and travel and countries.
And for me, because I have that background of like being Jamaican, I love for my kids to eat Jamaican food so that they can, see what it was like for me growing up as in a Jamaican household. So we like to feed them different Jamaican foods, or sometimes I'll speak patois to them so that they can kind of hear, the difference. Because like we said before, we live in a predominantly white community. So that's important for me that they still know and embrace the other side of them and the other culture. We know that our kids are going to experience some sort of racism in their life at some point. We just want to give them the opportunity at home to learn how to deal with certain situations, how to approach it. I want my kids to know the difference between if someone is just curious, as opposed to trying to put them down or trying to make them feel uncomfortable.
Sometimes that's all you need to do. It's someone's just trying to pick a fight, like they're just being stupid or whatever. But there could be times where it's worse than that, where they need to remove themselves, but they need to get people involved to de-escalate the situation. To if it's getting to that point, they need to know that someone needs to get involved, and it's okay for them to get someone involved to help with the situation. Like we've mentioned, we're pretty much living in a community of mainly white background. There's some Asians, some blacks, some...
Yeah, there's like a sprinkle of races. There's a sprinkle of different races in our community, but it's predominantly white people. Yeah. Tate grew up here. This is where he's from, so he is used to living here. And I have lived here for about 11 years now.
Although there's not a lot of cultural background in our community, within our family here, we do have some mixed races in our friend circle.
It's so beautiful. We're gonna show them your artwork. Did you make that for Dad?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And Mom.
And me too?
Everyone and me.
Oh, so you made this for the whole house?
Yeah, and me.
Oh, and you too?
And you? Okay, go find a place that it can go. Okay. Like within our people that we hang out with, there's quite a few mixed cultures and races.
That gives us the opportunity to you know, come together as a community so that our kids have people around that look like them. And it's fun. We hang out with people that are biracial families as well. So we have plenty of opportunity for our kids to be exposed to that. Like we said, we travel a lot. So they're exposed to all different cultures and all different experiences. So we're not worried about any of that stuff. I've had people ask me before, like how is it raising your kids in a neighborhood that just mainly has white people? Like, how are they going to learn about themselves? There is plenty of opportunity for them to know who they are and to identify with whatever they choose.
And to teach people,
Yeah.
you know, people that haven't traveled, that don't have much other knowledge or understanding. This gives them opportunities to learn.
So, like, I feel like we are kind of blessed to live where we live, where people are very accepting,
Open-minded.
very open-minded, as opposed to some countries, you know, they may not have the luxury of that, and, you know,
Racism is a daily occurrence.
It's real. We know.
Yeah.
We know it. We see it on the news. We hear about it all the time. So I feel like we are pretty blessed in that area. People are treated differently all over the world because of the color of their skin, because of their sexual preference, even just their economical status. Like, people are targeted for stuff like that everywhere. So we just don't want our kids to be oblivious to that stuff. We want them to know that in the world we live in, it's not rainbows and sunshine all the time, but it just depends on yourself and what you make of it. Some things are out of our control, but you do have the control over yourself and how you treat others. I think that will forever be important to us. That's something we teach them very constantly, to just be very accepting, because if you want people to treat you a certain way, you have to be treating them that type of way as well. So I'm really happy for the kids that we have. Like, I love my kids. It's almost an obsession, but I'm really glad for this opportunity in life to, you know, to be that teacher and to be that example for our little ones. And I honestly wouldn't trade it for the world. Thank you for giving me.
Thanks.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you got some insight into how we're living and raising our children. And we would love to know if you guys have experienced any of this stuff while raising mixed kids. Tell me what your thoughts are about racism and how you approach it and how you teach your children to approach it.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we have some great videos coming up and you don't want to miss any of them. Please like and share this video with someone that might be interested in watching this. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you guys in our next video.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.